The rain's still pouring down here. It's a bit miserable, but let me tell you, the spirit here at Merstham is not. 2 wins on the spin and a draw last Saturday as well. The team are absolutely flying at the moment. I've been joined by the gaffer who's played the last 90 minutes. Away in Guernsey on Wednesday night, back here for Saturday, and 2-1 on Wednesday, 2-0 today against Ashford Town. You and the boys must be absolutely buzzing, Peter.
Well, you said it. We're extremely, just very pleased, and we are buzzing. 7 games, 15 points out of 21. We're one of the form teams at the moment, and most importantly, the last 2 games, Guernsey and Ashford, against 2 teams directly above us, and winning both of them now means we've pulled both teams back towards us, and luckily results went for us today. So yeah, we'll enjoy tonight.
Absolutely. I heard you enjoyed Wednesday night as well. Not to do any exposés or anything, but I've heard Charlie Alexi was threatening to jump out the plane and use a t-shirt parachute at some point, and there was a card school going on at 2 a.m. in the hotel bar and all sorts of stuff. But that really shows the team bonding. But
Wednesday was brilliant on and off the pitch. I mean, the boys were fantastic from the moment they got to the airport. Had a lot of fun with the Merstham scarf.
Oh yes, the scarf.
Yeah,
yes.
Every player had to get a stranger to take a picture with them. So they had a little bit of team bonding on the way to Merstham. Goody managed to outdo everyone by finding himself in the cockpit. Don't know how I managed it, but that's Goody. If anyone could have done it, it would have been him. And on the pitch, some of the best football we've played all season. We were at it straight from the off, and I think we deservedly went in 2-0 up. They came back into it in the second half, as you would expect them to, being their home team. And after the game, when you win, the boys are entitled to actually enjoy themselves. Nothing too wild. I mean, was in the hotel bar, card games going on, blackjack, and the boys just, enjoying each other's company. They're a fantastic group of young men and slightly older men. But as a group, they're a joy to manage. It really is a joy to manage this group of boys. And gents, thank you so much for all your efforts over the last few weeks and months. All the running, all the 5Ks, all the extra demanding work that we've been asking you to do. It's great to see it finally paying off and slowly clawing our way in the right direction.
Yeah, it's been fantastic. I think that sentiment would be echoed by everyone around the ground today, and certainly every supporter from Merstham. You only made 1 change today against Ashford, so it's pretty much the same team that started at Guernsey. How did you go about sort of managing that in terms of obviously the fatigue and everything, and sort of not making too many changes to keep that consistency?
That's exactly it. We've got a consistent sort of team playing at the moment, and it's working. And it's the old saying, isn't it? If it's not broken,
don't fix it.
Don't fix it. We went to make the 1 change. MK hasn't played the last 2 games, so he's nice and fresh. So we thought we'd just do a little bit of fresh legs in the back and really push him into midfield to give us that little bit of energy in there, and running around and rattling around.
Yeah.
Which he did brilliantly. We don't want to change things too much at the moment. The boys are looking after themselves, they're recovering well. Today we were a little bit flat in the first half. I think we were very lucky to go in at 1-0 up at half time. But again, early in the season, when we're not playing well, we'll be losing games. When we're playing well, we'll be losing games. We've played really well at times this season and lost games. And, it's actually really good that we can play not to our standard and still nick a goal just before our time to go in 1-0 up. And in the second half, I thought we were pretty good in terms of our defensive shape, and feel only had 1 save to make the entire game. And that for me is a mark of how well we're defending. Yeah. I think the clean sheets, 4 or 5 in the last 7 now?
4 out of 7, yeah.
Yeah, 4 clean sheet out of 7. Again, it's credit to every single player playing at the moment, and we'll keep going.
You and Reece done me up like a kipper again for the penalty in the first half, because you stood over the spot for ages, and I was like, the boss is going to have this one, because I know he said the competition, both of you have been red hot, but I bet Reece's heart was in his mouth when he saw the goalkeeper get a touch on it.
So was mine. A good penalty is one that goes in. Sometimes you can strike it really well, put in the corner, the keeper can make a great save. It doesn't matter, it ends up in the back of the net, as long as it does. That's 2 in 2 for him. And, if I feel I've got to take it, I'll take it. At the moment, he's confident, he's playing really, really well. And, as long as he's happy to take it, he'll keep taking them.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Looking forward, then we'll take all these points that we've gathered. We've still got some games against teams that are in and around us. A couple of difficult ones more towards the end of the season. Obviously, we need to get as many points as we can in the bank before that time. But it's still in our own hands, really, isn't it? We're not kind of really relying on other people to bail us out.
That was brilliant. Like I said, the last 2 games were really, really important. Let's not get away from it. There were 6 pointers, and we've managed to pull both teams towards us. I mean, our goal difference is also better than both of them above us. So, effectively, we're 1 win away from getting out of the bottom 4. Should one of them 2 slip up and we pick up a win in the next game, which is what we're aiming to do. Going to Lever is going to be really tough. They're a really good team. Me and their manager know each other very, very well. I mean, Aiden's Aiden, and we know what's coming next week. We just got to go there and keep doing what we've been doing the last 7 games, and we just got to fight for every point between now and the end of the season. 7 games. As I said to the boys, it is a strange one because personally I've never been near the bottom of the table in my 25th season of playing. But it's actually been one of the most enjoyable seasons in a crazy way. That might sound weird saying that, but the journey and the experience that I've had this season is one that I know will hold me in good stead as a manager and coach. Me and MK, I believe we've coped really well with the situation. I don't believe in stressing. People think sometimes that you don't stress, you don't care. But my mentality is, what's the problem? We had a problem. What's the solution? We had ideas in our head. We implemented those ideas, and luckily they're paying off. And that journey itself is something that I'm sort of enjoying. Going through this is new to me, but every experience is a experience to learn from, and hopefully make me a better person and a better manager.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, my final question was going to be, after all the sort of the stresses, although no stress here apparently, the stresses and struggles of earlier on in the season and trying to pick up points and things not quite getting going, the last 2 or 3 weeks for you personally must have felt a little bit of a weight lifted off your shoulders and things looking a little bit rosier again.
Oh, 100%. Football in life is very simple. You want to win and pick up as many points as you possibly can. And like I said, personally, I've not been used to being near the bottom of the table. I mean, if I go back the last 15 to 20 years, I've always been involved in teams near the top of the table, pushing for promotion, getting promotion. Last season, finishing 12th at Carl Short was strange as well. 12th was mid-table. So being bottom of the table, being rock bottom, and looking up is like, oh, this is strange, weird. How do I cope with this? And I believe last season what I went through helped. Like I said, stressing doesn't change anything. What it does is make the situation worse. We've kept the boys, engaged and making sure that training is enjoyable and the atmosphere around the place is enjoyable, even when things weren't going well. Just trying to keep everyone galvanized in pushing the right direction, and slowly bringing in players to help us do that and improve things on the pitch. And the results have been speaking for themselves over the last 2-3 months. We've just been picking up points, chipping away, confidence building. And like I said, personally, I've learned a lot from this season, and it's something that I believe will hold me in good stead moving forward. And also, I've been supported by some fantastic people. MK's, he's my right hand man. He's the one that I've been leaning on throughout the entire season. But Kevin, Darcy, and Ollie, our goalkeeping coach, Josh, the kit man, brilliant guy. Does above and beyond what it's supposed to do from the moment he walked through the door. Dave, the kit man, I mentioned it on Twitter the other day, but those guys, they make my life easy. They do what they're supposed to do and more. I feel very fortunate and lucky because I always seem to have the right people around me just to help me. There's a lot of people outside of Merstham as well that I'm grateful to that help in ways that people will never know. They know who they are, and I'm extremely grateful for your assistance and help. And you guys out there, some of you will see this. Thank you very much. And again, most importantly, the fans and the board members. Those guys have been nothing short of amazing this season. I've told a few people, after 15 games in the footballing world, I should not be sitting there talking to you right now, should I?
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
But these guys have stood by me, and I'm glad to be repaying their faith, by producing what we're producing at the moment, which is picking up points and getting results. And hopefully we will do enough to make sure that this team is in this league next season and looking at the other end of the table next season.
Absolutely.
Hopefully.
Well, listen, no small part paid by yourself, and we're all fully behind you and the boys going on to Leatherhead next week. And stay tuned. Next week, we're going to find out what Charlie Alexi will do next.
Well, even you two, the work that you two do is outstanding. It's brilliant. Like I said, I feel really lucky to be surrounded by great people. They don't see you behind the camera, but the guy behind the camera, he's always there. He's part of this club, he's part of this team. He helps do what we need to do, and hopefully the little bits and pieces we're putting together will start being fruitful, and hopefully we'll be pushing for promotion next season. That's
sounds
what we
good.
want to do.
Sounds good, Pete. Sounds good.
Everyone.
Listen, next week, Leatherhead, we'll do it, yeah? We'll do it.
Definitely.
Another 3 points.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing what Charlie says.
Absolutely. He said he's going to use his T-shirt as a parachute.
Is this
true?
I don't know how we're going to do this, but part of me wants to see it. Part of me is like, I need you for games going forward. So I would
maybe at the end of the season.
Maybe that would be a better idea. Let's do that in the season.
Okay, fine.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, boss. Nice one.